What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and here we are for Zandvoort. Probably one of my favorite tracks on the F1 calendar for at least a 2020 game and 2021 in general. But last race wasn't the best. You can go back and watch it, but yeah, as you can see, we had to cut through the pack and then got lost in the pack again. But coming into Zandvoort, we do have a few updates to the car. We have a Halo downforce update, cable assembly, chassis update, and a major engine update coming into this race. And as you can see, in practice one, doing the track acclimatization, and for the first time in practice, the car felt amazing. The new updates and potentially my setup for this track was just working in nice harmony. As you can see, getting purple on I think nearly everyone. As you can see, getting a bit of a slide there as we try to push ourselves harder than the car actually can go. Yeah, getting all purple there. And as you can see, in the free practice one, I was actually doing a lot more laps than normal. I wanted to find my limits, find where I could brake, where I couldn't, and where I could get on the par easier. Find the best line for the mainly the banked corner, and through here it's very crucial to get your lines perfect. As you can see, going through there, I lose like 2/10. And as you can see, coming in the second sector, it's really important here to get your trail braking right, and if you do get it right, you gain a lot of time. So yeah, I did I think 7 laps on here, 6 or 7. This one was the 5th one, but skipping straight into Q1 and not going over any of those other ones because they pretty simply passed. You can see us starting our lap, coming into turn 1, braking just before the 50 board, maybe about 70 meters, and then getting on the power pretty tentatively, considering what we can do on the softs. Coming around the final corner. What time is it going to be? It's a 110.1, which I know we can do better, but puts us on P6. And, well, it was good enough to get us into Q2. And in Q2, I decided to only do 1 run, because the race is going to be rain. So, 1 run on the softs, and let's see how we can do. As you can see, picking up the power a lot earlier, through turn 1. And to the line we go. Where are we going to go? We hit the wall. I didn't actually see. We hit the wall at the end there, but P3, which I think shows quite a lot of potential for this car and setup. As you can see, Q3 now. We're in P5 because nobody else has had a lap, and we're starting our lap. Coming around turn 1. Getting on the power more aggressively, but still about past halfway in the corner. Locking up a bit through the bank corner as normal, I guess. It's kind of expected, but coming up to the line, what time are we going to do? A 110.025, which again is good, but we could do better, as you can tell by the second run. We're in P4 currently, but with the track evolution and I don't know if it was less fuel, but with the track evolution being the last car on the track and qualifying literally just finishing, let's see how we can do. So we get on the power a lot better than we did in the first lap, and coming through here, we're already up 2.5 tenths, which is quite good. I say quite good, it's really good, because pole is only 5 tenths faster. So if we can keep this up, we might be on for a pole position. Coming through the first sector, we go purple, which is quite unexpected for a car like ours. As you see, cutting that corner a bit, but then it forces us out wide. But coming in here, lock up, which isn't the greatest, but we are still 4 tenths up. But I get a bit of a tank slapper there through the long left. And as we come to the end of the lap, we're only 3 tenths up, which let's see where it puts us at least. And it puts us up 1 position to P3, which isn't exactly too bad for our cover.
It was 35 years ago that the late great Niki Lauda took his 25th and final Grand Prix win here at Zandvoort. He came from 10th on the grid to beat his McLaren teammate Alain Prost by just 0.2 of a second. Well, Zandvoort is a very different circuit today, of course, but still one with an incredible legacy. And we're going to add to that. Welcome along to the 2020 Dutch Grand Prix. 2.6 miles then make up a lap here at a wet Zandvoort circuit, where some tricky braking zones and sudden drops can make it all too easy to slide off into the gravel. There are 14 corners overall and a 678-metre main straight, providing the best chance for overtaking. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win in the Masters. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
There are never any guarantees in this business, but certainly the performance last time out would have boosted their confidence coming into this one.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Martin, Sainz, Charles Leclerc and Bottas, Vettel, Stroll, Ocon and Daniel Ricciardo, Perez, Norris, Kevin Magnussen and Gasly, Kvyat, Grosjean, George Russell and Antonio Giovinazzi, Raikkonen and Nicholas Latifi. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out. Then let's see who can prevail today.
So as you can see by the grid sequence, this new mod I've got installed is actually, it lets Crofty say the names of the drivers. Of course the names can't change because it's F1 2020, but Crofty does actually say the correct names, and the radio guys say the correct names and everything, so there won't be any more confusion, I hope. Apart from in the Aston Martin. The Aston Martin, this livery I've got on, has Perez's number. But anyway, as you can see, formation lap. It is raining like hell. So let's just see how we can do. I'm not the best in the rain, but I definitely feel confident as I put on a wet setup, because I of course you know the rain. But I put on a wet setup in qualifying. But as you can see, forming the grid right now.
Is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
So, taking a bit of a while. We're not used to being up this front. But as you can see, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go. And we get quite a tentative start, as does the Red Bull and Mercedes. But the Ferraris are just on it. Carlos Sainz, that is, going into 2nd place in turn 1. He's in 2nd place already. And Leclerc up our inside. But we do get the traction done, I think. And we get past. But look at Sainz. Sainz is already up in the lead as we try to go around the outside of Verstappen, but not quite getting it done. We hit him in the back. But Sainz has had a brilliant start up in the lead as the the Red Bull Honda and the Mercedes start fighting through the not so straight, as I call it. And we get a bad run. The Ferrari's looking for a move. He's going to slip down the inside as we go a bit wide. Hits us. His wing's a bit broken. So we go right around the outside, get the traction on the exit. And I'm feeling pretty confident. We have held position, apart from Carlos Sainz, who got an absolutely insane start. But from lap 1, we've already held position, and our car is feeling quite good. We're not like dropping down the order too much. And the guys in front are just not leaving. We're kind of just sitting there pretty well. And as you can see, coming into here, our car is in heavy braking zones. We're catching up a lot of time. We're catching up to Mercedes ahead, and we're catching up to the Red Bull as well. But Sainz is gone. That Ferrari in the rain looking quite strong with the pace of the field neutralised. As we come to the end of lap 1, putting on the overtaking, maybe we can look for a move, but not quite, of course. So yes, it says Vettel, but of course it's Sainz. But moving on to the end of lap 2. We're looking for maybe a move on Bottas. Can we get it done into the start of lap 3? We're going to look for it. We've got overtake on. And we're going to brake a bit later. And he's just going to squeeze us to the inside, but we're free. Are we? He's just turning on us. He's just... What's up with him? He's just turning on us, the AI. Just as if we're not there. But we do get through. Up in the P3, and now we're chasing after the Red Bull. And as you can see, purple's first sector. Is it going to be a purple second sector? Of course it is. We're absolutely on fire. Picking up the pace already on lap 4. And this race is looking to be a good one for Alpine. All apart from Ocon, who is holding up a train, to say the least. See, at the end of lap 4, are we going to get the fastest lap, maybe? So Science gets it, Verstappen gets it, and then we get it, and we hold it. That just shows you how our car is. We're the fastest guy on track right now. And we are probably going to go even faster. As you can see, coming into lap 7 at the end. And we get slidey, we get on the grass, so we're holding it, we're still in overtake, we've still got a fraud line, we save it out of the wall. And that was a close one, that really had my heart going. And as you can see on lap 11, we're really close to Verstappen as we come into turn 3 and then turn 4. This is where I learned that if you send it deep, you can get a lot better traction, a lot better run. As we get really close to the back of the Red Bull, seeing that Honda rear wing, and that's all we can basically see in the spray. But our car gets really slidey and really washy, I guess you can say, behind him. A lot of the dirty air really affects us here for some reason, even though we have a lot of downforce on the car. But as you can see, going purple by 0.4 of a second. I think that shows you how well the track is clearing up already on lap 11. Our engine, as you can see, our engine is just completely, it's in the orange for our turbocharger, I think it was. And I forgot to mention in qualifying in Q1, we actually took a new MGUH, so that could, I don't know if that would explain the turbocharger, but the turbocharger just really no durability at all. We had to take an ICE before, I think, maybe we had to take an ICE. I think it was, yeah, I think it was an ICE we had to take as well. Lap 11, get the fastest lap again. Lap 13. And look, you can just see how much faster we are to turn 4. And we just can't get anywhere close to him. Our car's just losing the traction, losing the downforce. But on lap 18, or we're coming on to lap 18, maybe we can look for the move. Our tires are going off. We're going to pit this lap for another set of intermediates. We're looking down the inside. We don't quite get it. Science is slowing up quite a bit, but the Red Bull is even, well, I wouldn't say the Red Bull's slower. I would say the Red Bull's actually faster right now. But we are fastest. As we're pitting in this lap, we're going to push as hard as we can. We're going to try and get the best run out of here, maybe. Get behind him, maybe get the slipstream. But as you can see, look, as soon as we get on the traction behind him, there's just no acceleration, I think, because of the dirty air. I wouldn't say dirty air is the traction, but it affects the traction. I wouldn't say it affects the acceleration, but it definitely affects the traction. As you can see, our downforce is not there. And we come into pit at the end of this lap. We're really close to the Red Bull as we come in. No speeding penalty like last time, but everything's looking good. As you can see, one of the racing points was out. I think it was Vettel. Well, I say racing point. The Aston Martin of Vettel is out.
Up to speed now.
But that doesn't really concern us, as there was no VSC or safety car. And we are fighting right at the front for this race. And coming out in turn 3, we were a bit tentative. The tires, of course, being colder than as we'd want, or colder than what we'd want. But once we get up the temperatures, you can see on the end of lap 20, right behind him, we nearly spin coming off the corner. Can we put on the overtake? Are we going to look for a move on Verstappen here? Getting the fastest lap. He's going to go to the inside and we switch to the outside. Maybe we can get it on traction. Of course, we know we're better on traction in the wet. And into turn 2 and turn 3, maybe. And yeah, we get it right around the outside. And this car is looking fantastic to chase Sainz here and maybe even get into the lead, which is exactly what we're going to do on at the end of lap 21. As you can see, getting real close to Sainz. This car is so much slower compared to ours. In the slipstream, and we're just going to send it down the inside. They'll send it down the inside of a Ferrari for the lead in an Alpine in our 3rd race in our F1 career. And that's just some sight to behold. But even, as you can see, as we're in front, everything dries up real quick as we skip right on to lap 27. And the bulk of the race is yet to happen. We're behind the Alfa Romeo, we're lapping people in an Alpine. And as you can see, DRS has been enabled. The crossover point is now. And we're going to pit for some mediums, which I think is the wrong decision, I realised. As it's just not going to be the temperature or grip at all. But everyone else is staying out, and we come in for the mediums. We come in maybe I wouldn't say a lap early. I would say the perfect time for it. As we pit in now. What's the stop time going to be? It's at 2.6, which is quite good for our team.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for
As you can
dangerous
see,
driving if you cross over into the
not
track.
all the water cleared up. As you can see, sliding a bit coming out of the pits, and the grip just not there right now. But as you come to the end of the lap, you notice this car speeding up, and it is getting a lot drier. Everyone pitting now. The Ferrari and the Mercedes. The Red Bull of Verstappen stayed out for an extra lap, so maybe that's going to be crucial to work to his final position. As you can see, purple final sector. The grip not entirely there, not 100%, but as we get promoted into P2 and then eventually P1 again, we go back into the lead in an Alpine. But the grip wasn't really there on the mediums, which is why towards the end, I think is it Bottas? I think it might be Bottas that catches up to us, or Hamilton. I think it's Hamilton. Whatever, we'll see. And as you can see, someone else going out. I forget who that was actually. Maybe you could see by the graphics, but it's Hamilton behind us actually. And as you can see, he's going nearly a second faster as Verstappen. Hamilton going real fast. And I think it was Carlos Sainz actually that retired on lap 33, lap 34 now, coming to the end of it. Hamilton is really chasing us, and we've just got 2 more laps to hold on to this lead. Maybe at this point we're thinking maybe we can win this race, because our defense in this Alpine is really good. He sends it up the inside maybe, and he has to back out, but our defense in this Alpine is really good, as we can tell by the past few races, mainly Australia. Our defense there really worked to keep P3 behind, or in front of a Mercedes and Aston Martin. And coming into the start of Sector 2, he's looking around the outside, he's looking for it, and on those soft tyres, he's so much faster than us. Through the final corner, he's going to get to the DRS, of course. 1 more lap to go. 1 more lap. We're coming down a straight, and we're going to start the final lap now in the lead. And we're going to go into turn 1 for the final time, but is Hamilton going to look for a move? He's going to send it around the outside. He doesn't quite get the grip as he needs. And we're going to hold on. We're going to push him to the inside of turn 3, and he's going to force him to back out. We're just going to stay on board for this lap now. The grip wasn't, as you can tell, the softs was much better than the mediums in these conditions. And the rain has definitely helped our race. And if we hold on to this lead, it's going to be momentous for Alpine. Getting a bit of a slide on there through the fast right-hander. And this whole section, I think we were losing a lot of time, because it's mostly about how much grip and traction you get. As you can see, our engine was on about 75%, our turbocharger. So this was crucial that we held on to this. It was crucial that we held on the lead of a 75% turbocharger. We hold the inside down the DRS straight, the back straight. And we're coming around the final sector for the final time in the Dutch Grand Prix. As you can see, Verstappen get quite close to Hamilton as well. Can we get a good enough exit to hold on to this lead and to this win? And yes, we can. We come across the line to win the Dutch Grand Prix.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
A difficult race then on a circuit that demands complete concentration, but they persevered to take the win here today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
As we can see, it's time for the podium, and I can see the Renault team underneath our commentary box going crazy as their drivers walk out. It was a great win, and it means a great deal to this team.
Wow, what a sight. The Northern Irish flag being on P1 for the first time since Eddie Irvine. And we've done it in our 3rd race in F. well, I wouldn't say, I don't think Eddie Irvine actually used a Northern Irish flag, but a Northern Irish person winning a Formula 1 Grand Prix for the first time since, I think, maybe 1999, 2000. As you can see, going up the third in the drivers and the third in the constructors, making up for that poor race in Bahrain. But 2 podiums already, if you have, spoiler alert, 2 podiums in 3 races. I think that just shows our pace and shows what Ocon's lacking in pace himself. But as you can see, going up to 4.5 driver claim already, just for that win. And I'm just basking in our own glory here. Look at that, 2 podiums in 3 races, and about a 10th in Sakir. Maybe if we got a better Bahrain result, that could have been better. But we're gonna move swiftly on to Spain, which is in 2 days. We actually bought a new upgrade, but we'll have to look at that next episode towards the end. I forget what I bought. But as you can see, the start here, I got a horrible start off the line, but it all came back to us in the end. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.